What's up, nerds? This is the last episode of the 2022 fall semester of Nerd Alert here on WCTV. I have the privilege of being your host today, Caleb Yager, and it's a pleasure to be joined alongside Jesse Kane, Tony Grillo, and Alex Hughes. All of us are seniors here at Waynesburg University. But we have a lot to discuss today. It's going to be mostly Christmas themed. We're going to be talking about Christmas movies, if one is considered one or not. Die Hard. And we also are going to be talking about Christmas characters, what makes them a good Christmas character or not. And speaking of those characters, we have a little mini game that we're going to be playing with some pictures, and they're going to be guessing what the character is and what the movie is as well. We're going to have a lot of fun today on Nerd Alert. You're watching Nerd Alert here on WCTV. It is known as the most wonderful time of the year, and we're going to be talking about Christmas movies here on Nerd Alert. Once again, I'm Caleb Yager, Jesse Kane, Tony Grillo, and Alex Hughes. Favorite Christmas movie, gentlemen? Jesse, we're going to start with you.
I'm going to have to go with The Grinch, the original cartoon Grinch based off the Dr. Seuss cartoon, and that has to be my favorite Christmas movie, Caleb.
Tony.
Ooh, that's a tough one for me, Caleb. I love Christmas movies, but if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Home Alone. I mean, I grew up watching that movie. Every year around the holidays, I'd watch them. That and the sequel. Mm-hmm. And it's just a really good movie to watch in general.
All right, Jesse, you said the original. If you had to rank them 1, 2, 3, you know, the main thing we're talking about, the original Grinch, the Jim Carrey Grinch, and the newest Grinch. I actually haven't seen that. I really want to. I hear it's really good.
You definitely should see that one. I've thought about this a lot, had this discussion a lot with my parents and friends, but I would have to rank the original because it's also my favorite. The original is at the top of the 3 Grinch movies. And then second is the newest cartoon with Cumberland, I can't remember his name.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yes, there we go.
Yes.
Thank you, Tony. But he does a great job, and it's so funny. It's very lighthearted, great comedy. And then finally is the Jim Carrey one. And I have my reasonings. Nothing against Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey plays a fantastic role in that as an actor. It just doesn't follow the original Dr. Seuss Grinch. That's my only grievance about the Jim Carrey one. But they're all great movies, and I just love the character, the Grinch. So I love them all.
Now, Alex, before we get over to you, Tony, Home Alone 1 or 2?
Oh, they're both really good. They're both also very similar if you watch them. Mm-hmm. But I think I'm going to go with the original just because it came first, and it's the one I usually tend to gravitate more towards.
Yeah, I don't think there's a bad choice. I think both of them are really good. I personally, Home Alone 3 onward, don't even talk to me about that.
Those don't exist in my head.
Those don't even exist because Macaulay Culkin will always be Kevin McAllister. Yeah. Well, Alex, favorite Christmas movie. I think there's something on your shirt that would kind of tell us something about
the shirt kind of gives it away. I gotta go with the 1988 classic starring Bruce Willis as John McClane. Die Hard just so happens to be not just my favorite Christmas movie, but my favorite movie of all time.
So he's a Die Hard fan. Yeah, that was a really bad joke. Anyways, that brings up a really good discussion. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I've seen people get into intense battles about this. Well, Alex, yes, it obviously to you is, and give your reasonings why.
So for me, I consider it a Christmas movie just based on the fact it takes place during Christmas, and not just that, but there's lots of elements of Christmas in there. They play Christmas music in the movie. They have Christmas trees. They have hallmarks to Christmas, like they put the dead guy in the elevator and they put ho, ho, ho on the sweater. And not just that, but one thing that a lot of people seem to overlook about the movie is that the only reason that Hans Gruber and the terrorists have such an easy way of getting into the building is because security's light because it's Christmas Eve. So it has to be Christmas for that robbery to be able to take place. And that's something that not a lot of people talk about. But yeah, for me, it takes place on Christmas. It's Christmas movie.
1 for Christmas movie, 0 for not Christmas movie. Tony, what are your thoughts about this?
Just Die Hard alone or other movies that are set at Christmas?
Die Hard.
Okay. All right. I've never really taken all this into account, though, but if I would be honest, after what Alex said, he kind of swayed me that way.
All right, so 2 for Christmas movie, none for the non-Christmas movie. Jesse?
Okay. I'll let it be a Christmas movie. I consider it more of a winter movie, though. And there's a couple of those winter movies that take place, that solely they're a Christmas movie just because they take place during that time. I think it gets a bad rap as a Christmas movie because it's an action movie. You know, people want to cuddle up, watch Hallmark movies and all feel-good movies during Christmas time, and then Die Hard just cuts that out for them. But it does take place around Christmas, around winter. You did bring up some great points, Alex. But also, I think that I wouldn't watch that movie any other time aside from like after Thanksgiving through the month of December.
Really?
I just because of the Christmas vibe it has to it, I would be like, this is so much better of a movie when you're anticipating Christmas.
See, here are my thoughts about that. I think that Die Hard just so happens to be taken. It is an action movie. It is strictly an action movie that takes place during the time of Christmas, right? Because that's what the premise of the movie is. It's about bad guys. It's about terrorists coming in, and you know the guy has to save the day in the hotel with his ex-wife. I mean, that's the feeling that I get, and also maybe it doesn't help that it's in. I think it's in Los Angeles, right? Yeah. Where there is no snow, and then there's some Christmas decorations. It's a Christmas party. I don't completely disagree. I think you make a really good point, Alex. But I just have to lean more towards it feels like an action movie rather than a Christmas movie. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's a very fair point. It is more action than like a Christmas theme because like Jesse said, you do see most people tend to lean towards like a Hallmark Christmas movie or like an animated Christmas film like The Grinch or Rudolph. So I definitely see it as a good point. It's definitely more focusing on action than Christmas. But just for me in general, I think if it has Christmas involved, I like to consider that a Christmas movie.
Any other thoughts about this topic, guys?
Tony, anything? I feel like we've covered all the bases with it.
Yeah, we have.
You know, I don't think the argument's going to sway regardless. I feel like you pick your point on this and you stay there, and it's always polarized. But.
I got you, yeah. Any other Christmas movies that you think may be underrated, or even Christmas movies that you despise or just don't like?
I have one. I recently watched this, recently as in last year, but it was Edward Scissorhands. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. It's an older one. I consider it a winter movie. It happens, there's snow theme. It's not necessarily about Christmas. I mean, sure, you have those themes, you know, developed in that. There's those themes in non-Christmas movies as well. But Johnny Depp is just one of my favorite actors on screen, and he does a great job of portraying this character that's just been isolated his entire life. It doesn't really have that Christmas vibe. It's not an action movie, so I just put it in that winter category because there's snow in the winter theme.
Tony?
I think I'm gonna go with The Polar Express. Is another one I really like.
Oh, that's a good one.
I feel like it's a little overlooked sometimes. I mean, I see people sometimes don't like the animation this day and age, but you have to think though too. That stuff, that motion capture stuff they were doing, that was revolutionary when it came out.
There are people that don't like the animation?
I've heard some people not like
What?
it. Like, did you see the new Chip and Dale movie over the summer?
No, I didn't.
There was a joke about a character who was not animated in that style. They said like, "Oh, you got Polar Express eyes."
I love the Polar Express. Whoever says that the animation is bad, I have some words for you, but I can't say them on the air. Go ahead, Alex.
So another one that I think is very like underrated, just because of how old it is It's a Wonderful Life. I mean, that's the classic Christmas movie. I watch it every year on New Year's or Christmas Eve. And again, it's just, I think people overlook it just because it's an old movie. It's in black and white, but it's a great movie, and it has a great feel-good message to it at the end as well. So definitely one of my favorite Christmas movies.
So we started talking about Christmas movies. We're going to take a break here at the desk, and we're going to throw it to Woo Tunes next here on Nerd Alert.
Hello and Merry Christmas, and welcome to this edition of Woo Tunes. My name is Joe Venzel, and I'm joined by my partner Keegan Robbie. And Keegan, it is going to be a holiday edition of Woo Tunes, as we have the Billboard Top 10, and most of them are Christmas songs. But first off, we're going to go shout out my girl, I should say, T Swift at number 1 with Anti-Hero and her newest album. Definitely deserving of being up there. Keegan, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan. Always listening to Taylor Swift. I was actually just listening to it in the car last night. Anti-Hero came on. Great song.
Absolutely. And we're going to move on to number 2, which is obviously definitely the most successful commercial Christmas song of all time, and one of my favorites, All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. No surprise there, taking the number 2 spot. And number 3, Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee. Again, Keegan, another classic.
Yeah, that's kind of a surprise for me going number 3. I mean, I love the song, but number 3 on the Billboard, I don't know.
I feel you, man. Number 4, Unholy by Sam Smith and Kim Petras, another great song if you guys want to check that out as well. Number 5, Jingle Bell Rock, which I thought this was my shocker because, I mean, it's a great song. Obviously one of my favorites as well for Christmas time. But, yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a little high at 5.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I might not even put it in top 10, to be honest. It's a great song, don't get me wrong, but out of all the Christmas songs ever made, I don't know about 5.
I feel you. But number 6, Holly Jolly Christmas by Burl Ives, part of the Rudolph movie. Fantastic Christmas ballad by any means necessary. Rich Flex, Drake and 21 Savage at number 7. Bad Habit, Steve Lacy at number 8. And It's the Most Wonderful Time of Year by Andy Williams coming in at number 9. Another Christmas song to fill out our top 10. And number 10, Last Christmas by Wham.
Great song.
Great song.
One of my favorite Christmas songs. I think it's too low on the board. I would have liked to have it maybe switch places with Rock Around the Christmas Tree.
All right.
Put that at 10. And
I got you.
Yeah.
So overall, favorite Christmas song of all time?
Probably All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. Number 2 right now. So
Yeah, of course. Like I said, most successful commercial Christmas song of all time, no doubt about it. My favorite Christmas song is White Christmas by the Drifters. Older time Christmas song, came out in the 50s. Home Alone is definitely what made me fall in love with it.
Yeah.
But just spreading holiday cheer as well. But one last question, favorite artist for Christmas songs? I mean, overall, there's a bunch of good ones.
There's
man.
a lot. I'm not sure. I have to go with Mariah Carey. She brings the holiday cheer. Uplifting songs all the time. Mariah Carey.
Absolutely. I'm going to have to go with my boy, Michael Bublé. Man just makes hits.
That was my second.
Yeah, Christmas or not, that man makes hits. But nonetheless, that'll be all for this edition of Blue Tunes. And I'm saying here from WCTV, a Merry Christmas.
This is producer Caleb Yager, and you are watching The Buzz.
Hello nerds, I'm Erin Lang and welcome to the Movie Minute. With the holidays just around the corner, we're going to kick things off with a recent Disney Plus release, The Santa Clauses, where Tim Allen returns to the role of Santa Claus after nearly 30 years. The show released on November 16th and is made up of 6 episodes. Christmas popularity is on the decline in this show, and Santa is losing his magic. He decides to retire and spend Christmas with his family for the first time. But upon moving to Chicago, things start falling apart at the North Pole. Thus, the Claus family must return and try to save Christmas. On November 25th, Marvel released its second special presentation with Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special. It's only about a 30-minute short film, but it's packed with the humor and action that we associate with the Guardians of the Galaxy. Manson and Drax set themselves on a mission to give Peter the best Christmas ever. And to do this, they travel back to Earth and locate the legendary Kevin Bacon. If you hadn't had an opportunity to check it out yet, I definitely recommend it. I'm going to continue on the Marvel and Guardians trend for another minute, so bear with me here. Marvel released the trailer for the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 on December 1st. The movie is going to be the second in the 5th phase of Marvel and release in theaters May 5th, 2023. The Guardians are still searching for Gamora, who disappeared after the battle against Thanos in Avengers Endgame, but also seen to run into some more problems. We finally get to see Rocket's backstory and see how the universe has changed for these set of heroes. We're going to see the return of the original crew as well as some new faces. Chukwudi Iwuji as the High Evolutionary, the man who created Rocket, and Will Poulter is going to be playing Adam Warlock. I am personally very excited to see what's coming for this upcoming movie. We're going to wrap up with another comeback here. The trailer for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny came out also on December 1st, where we see Harrison Ford pick up the fedora once again after nearly 14 years. This is the 5th time Ford has played Indiana, and it looks to be a wild ride. Indiana Jones is a professor now, but still reminisces about his adventuring days. He does eventually get roped right back into things, traveling all over the world on his next great adventure. Not much is known otherwise at the moment, but there's still plenty of time before the movie comes out, June 30th, 2023. This has been another Movie Minute update. Happy holidays, everyone.
You're watching WCTV, where we aim to bring you the best local coverage of what you care about most. Everything from local businesses to hometown sports and the latest weather. We're keeping up to date with what you need to know about issues that affect our campus and our community. We're telling the stories that matter, celebrating our past, our future, and our potential. So tune in for all the latest buzz right here on WCTV Channel 14, Waynesburg.
The last time we were at the desk, we were talking about a good Christmas movie that we love to watch every year at Christmas time. But now we're going to go a little more in depth to talk about maybe characters within those movies. First of all, guys, we're going to start with Alex this time. What makes a good Christmas movie or show character?
I think what you want in like a good Christmas movie characters, you want someone who can be like remembered and just become like famous around the holiday, and just you get that famous necessity. Like with Rudolph, everyone knows Rudolph, whether it's from the show or even just the songs that come with him. So I think that's basically what comes with a good Christmas character.
Tony?
Well, I mean, I think I do agree with what Alex was saying, but I also maybe even a little bit of a relatability factor, because the audiences tend to kind of see characters who are like them in a higher light. Like, oh, I get that. So one that kind of comes to mind to me is like Buddy the Elf from Elf. He was always like the outcast in the elf world because he was always bigger than everyone else. I think some people could see some relatability in that.
Yeah, I got you. Jesse?
I think it's a balance of everything. You definitely have to be different and like be able to have that, memorable factor to it. And then also, like, sure, there are some characters that are relatable. You look at all the different Christmas characters, there's so many unique ones. My favorite one would have to be the Grinch. And I mean, he doesn't have any of the Christmas, well, he does at the end of the movie. He develops those, grows his heart and size. But he's just so unique, and it's like a different play. But at the end of the movie, they all have to be likable. I think that's one of the key factors to it, or at least relate to them in some way. But they look at Ebenezer Scrooge. I mean, at the end of the movie, he's likable. He does the right thing. So I think that's important for Christmas characters.
Yeah, we have a lot of different characters out there, but the thing that you guys said, like Alex, that they have to be memorable, and Jesse, they have to have some redeeming qualities, and they have to be likable. Like for Elf, for example, he already loved Christmas to begin with, a little too much if we talk about that. But if you talk about people like Ebenezer Scrooge or the Grinch or even the Polar Express, there was a lot of doubt. They didn't really believe in the values of Christmas, but at the end they had a change of heart, and it makes us want to like them more. I think those are really good examples of what a good Christmas character in a movie or show would look like. Now, let's talk about a more specific character about Christmas, which is obviously Santa Claus. Is there a favorite version of Santa that you like to see? Because there's a lot of different versions of Santa out there. Tony, we're going to go in the middle this time. We'll start with you.
All right. I mean, different variations on Santa?
Yeah, the different yeah.
All right, well, I mean, there's a Belschnickel from The Office. It's White's version of Santa. Or a Santa-esque character.
I got you. How about Jesse Candy Cane over here?
So there's very different variations of Santa Claus. I really personally enjoy the Tim Allen from the Santa Claus movies, and now that new series on Disney Plus. It's just such a unique look at Santa Claus. He didn't choose to be Santa Claus. I wouldn't say he's my favorite Santa Claus character, but I like to, the classics like Rudolph, and Santa Claus is who Santa Claus is. And he almost is better when he doesn't play an important role. He's just known. Like in Rudolph, Santa Claus, what he does, but it's all about the reindeer. So it's kind of unique when you can have a character that's so known, but he's almost like a co-star in some of these movies.
Alex?
Yeah, I tend to agree with Jesse. I really like the version that Tim Allen played of Santa in the Santa Claus movies. But one very different variation that I want to touch on is there's a movie called Santa's Sleigh, and it stars Bill Goldberg, the former professional wrestler, as a Santa Claus that goes around killing people. And it's very strange. The movie itself is really weird. I don't really like it that much, but it's very different. And there's just one line in it that I've always remembered because it's just so weird. But there's one time where the characters say, if Santa Claus followed us here, we're all in grave danger. It's just not something that you ever hear related to Santa Claus or the holiday season. So I just found that to be like a very interesting take on the Santa Claus character.
Well, here's the thing. That is the absolute perfect segue about what we're going to talk about next. Violent Night, the Christmas thriller or maybe horror movie coming out with David Harper from Stranger Things. Basically, a violent Santa Claus that, has certain means of saving children, but that means murder. What do we think about a horror or action thriller that involves Santa Claus? Not the usual kind of story that we like to see about the positive vibes of Santa Claus.
Well, we've seen I haven't seen them, but there's other Christmas horror movies out there like Krampus, and there's a couple different ones that follow that same yeah, that's a good one too. But Santa can be scary. And if you think about it, Santa can be very scary. Like, we didn't grow up believing in Santa Claus. I'm the youngest of two other brothers because my oldest brother was terrified that this stranger dressed in a big red suit was entering through the fireplace at night on Christmas Eve. So if you think about it from almost like that kind of perspective, there's definitely a quality to Santa Claus that can be terrifying, and especially if you make him a murderer. I mean, I can see the potential for a whole different group of people wanting to see that Santa Claus.
Alex, do we like scary Santa?
I'm willing to give it a chance, just because it's something different. We haven't really seen much of it, especially the killing Santa Claus. It's not very common. Like, outside of the one I mentioned earlier, I can't really think of any others besides this one. So I'm willing to give it a chance. I don't know how much I'm going to like it per se, but I think overall just maybe it'll be good, maybe it won't be good, but who knows? I'm sure someone out there somewhere will like it.
And finally, we'll wrap it up with Tony. Do you like scary Santa?
Well, I'm not the biggest fan of horror, Caleb, I'm going to be honest. But there is an audience for that group of people, so I might not personally check it out myself, maybe once, just to get an idea of what it is, but I'd be willing to give it a chance.
That's all for this segment here on Nerd Alert. We're going to send it now to Level Up right here on WCTV.
Have you ever been to the Everly Library? If not, you should, because it's great. They have books of all different genres: history, biography, fiction. Try The Evolution of Life, Life of Pi, or Jurassic Park. So what if books aren't your thing? Try movies like Frozen, or TV shows like Lost. Books and DVDs aren't the only thing though. Take a trip to the second floor. Welcome to the Writing Center. These tutors will tell you everything you need to know about writing a paper, and they'll help revise your essays. Now let's head back down. Behold, the Knox Learning Center. Need to print something out 5 minutes before your next class because you procrastinated? No problem. You can also print off pictures of dogs. Because, well, you can. So grab your homework, laptop, and textbook, and study diligently. Bring your lunch too. Actually, you can't. That's illegal. Now you know the Everly Library. Stop by anytime. Seriously, it's open all week.
What's up, nerds? My name is Trey Womble, and welcome back to another edition of Level Up. Today we're going to be talking about the Game of the Year Awards, which just took place on December 8th. To start off, we're going to talk about the Game of the Year, Elden Ring, made by From Software and Bandai Namco. Elden Ring also won Best Game Direction, Art Direction, and Role Playing. To go off more on the list, we got God of War Ragnarok, made by Sony Santa Monica and SIE. Won Best Narrative, Best Score and Music, Audio Design, Best Performance by Christopher Judge. Best Action/Adventure, and Initiation of Accessibility. Best Ongoing Games, we got Final Fantasy XIV by Square Enix. We got the Best Indie by Stray from Blue 12 Studios and Annapurna. Best Debut Indie is also going to be Stray. We have the Best Action, which is Bayonetta 3 by Platinum Games / Nintendo. And Best Fighting Game goes to Multiverses, which really fell off really quickly, which is surprising. Next category we got up is Best Family by Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, also by Nintendo. We got the Best Sim/Strategy Games, which is Mario and the Rabbids Spark of Hope by Ubisoft. Best Sports/Racing goes to Gran Turismo 7 by Polyphony Digital/SIE. Best Multiplayer goes to Splatoon 3, which is by Nintendo EPD. And most anticipated game of the year is Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom by Nintendo as well. Content Creator of the Year goes to Ludwig. Best Adaptation is Arcane by League of Legends. Fantastic show, by the way. I'm waiting for Season 2. Best Esports Game was Valorant by Riot Games. Strongly disagree. It should be League of Legends. But Best Esports Athlete goes to Jacob Ye Whitaker by Cloud9 Valorant Team. Best Esports Team is also Loud from Valorant. Best Esports Coach is Mathis, a.k.a. BZKA, which is also Loud for Valorant. Best Esports Event is the World's 2022 League of Legends Championship, which I took time to watch. It was a great. Reward for Best Esports Event goes to the 2022 League of Legends Worlds Championship. All right, nerds, that's all I have for Level Up, and I'll see you next time.
What's up, nerds? I'm Darren Allensworth, and welcome to the last Esports Talk segment of the fall 2022 semester here on Nerd Alert. The main thing that has put me off of playing more Valorant over the last couple of years is the length of the matches. Riot Games is looking to do something about that with shorter casual mode that is starting to test in the game's public build. Matches in the core competitive of unrated or unranked modes typically last around 30 to 50 minutes. Each round can last up to 2 minutes or so. As such, it can take a team a while for one team to win 13 rounds and become the victor. Competitive matches can last even longer if the score reaches 12-12, since teams need to win by at least 2 rounds in overtime if they vote to keep playing. The new Swift Play mode, which is the name of it, has a similar rule set to unrated. However, the first team to win 5 rounds will emerge triumphant. Attackers and defenders will swap sides after 4 rounds, and there's a sudden death overtime. Riot Games says Swift Play matches should run for around 15 minutes. There are some tweaks to the economy and how players earn ultimate points to make sure they can still access all the fun stuff in the shorter format. For instance, at the start of each half of a Swift Play match, you'll get 2 ultimate points for free. As such, you might be able to use the game's most powerful abilities a bit more often. Although Valorant has other casual modes that don't last as long as competitive or unrated matches such as Spike Rush and Deathmatch, Swift Play brings the rule set of the core modes into a more condensed format. Riot says it's a frequently requested mode that should make it easier for folks who don't have a ton of free time to play more Valorant. It should help other players to get in more reps as well. The Swift Step beta is going live with patch 5.12, which also brings in a host of balance changes and tweaks on how various abilities interact with each other. Swift Step will be available on all maps used for the unrated mode, and the beta will run until January 10th. There have been some recent moves with Dota 2's pro teams. Nisha, after leaving Team Secret, now joins their Western European rival team, Team Liquid. Nisha will be playing mid with Mike, who was the Pause 2 last season, going back to the carry position. With this move, Liquid effectively fills the holes that Matumbo Man left after he retired, and in my book, makes Liquid a front runner for being one of the strongest teams going into the next DPC season. Dendy's B8 roster will be playing in NA with a new roster consisting of Stonebank, Lodine, Funnick, Moose, and of course, Dendy himself. Former back-to-back TI winners Topson, Notel, and Seb are forming a new team called Old G. They will be joined by No One and MSS, two well-known veterans and elite players who have been in the scene for a while. Wrapping up with some more local esport news, Waynesburg's own Timbo is supposed to play today against Zamu in the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Bracket, lower bracket semifinals. Tim qualified for this after recording his second reverse sweep this season against Vinman in his last series. Waynesburg's Rocket League team plays in the NECC Championship today in a 7-game series against Eastern University. Eastern came in as the 7th seed and got to the championship game after beating the 3 and the 2 seed. So they're coming into tonight confident. Not so fast though, because Waynesburg hasn't dropped a set yet this season, and I doubt they're going to start to tonight. Game time is set for 7:30. Unfortunately, that is all the esports news I have for you today. I'll catch you next year right here on the Esports Talk.
Well, I have my laptop here. It's time to show some pictures to these guys about Christmas movies, and they're going to be guessing what the character is and what movie it is from. 1 point for each, and we're going to be keeping track. So we're going to have Jesse, Tony, and Alex. So I have to be attentive. Let's use an honesty policy here. If one person gets it before you, and I didn't see who or hear who it was, let's be honest about that. I trust you guys. But, all right, we have, I think, 8 different movies, okay?
Oh, my.
I'm just trying to get one
around.
right.
This is going to start round 1. Ready, set, go.
Oh, I know this one. Did I just say it?
Yeah.
Okay, the movie is White Christmas. And, I don't know the characters, but that's got to be Bing Crosby.
Yeah.
That's Bing Crosby.
Yeah.
I don't know the character's name, though.
Then you need to write it down, I guess.
So I just told everyone. Bang, bang. White Christmas, bang. Not changing my answer. Round 2 will go a lot smoother.
Yeah.
It's a great movie, by the way.
Okay, you have White Christmas,
I have
Bing.
White Christmas, Bing Crosby.
So there are actually 2 characters in here, so we might have a chance for 3 points.
Okay.
But okay, you got White Christmas.
Yes.
And then, are we going to accept Bing Crosby? I think we're gonna go with Bing Crosby.
Answer's
all right?
in.
Do we give Tony and Alex a chance, or? Okay, what do you have, Tony?
I mean, basically the same thing.
Okay.
Oh
Just
well. All right, we'll give Tony 2.
Yeah, I had no idea, so
Okay, Alex.
I've got nothing.
Nope. Okay, Jesse 2.
Sorry, next time I won't yell out.
That's right.
Yell out.
No, that was
what it
my. I
is.
thought we
Let's
were
go.
going out
We're
loud,
good.
but all right.
Tony's gonna beat me anyways. So.
Jesse 2, Tony 2,
say no.
Alex none. Okay. Need a big comeback here. Ready, set, go. Alex, what'd you have?
So the character is Cindy Lou Who, and it is from the Jim Carrey version of The Grinch.
2 points right there. Tony?
And I also had that as Cindy Lou Who from How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Jesse, and
I had the Grinch Jim Carrey, but I wrote down Susie Lou Who.
oh my goodness gracious, Jesse! I
can't
thought you
believe
were a
it.
Grinch expert.
This is unbelievable.
You wrote
This is the Jim
Susie
Carrey.
Lou.
I wrote Susie Lou.
Ooh, you get one
I'm
point there.
disappointed. That's gonna,
Tony is
it's
now
gonna
in the
hurt.
lead with 4. Jesse with 3. Alex with 2. This is a tight contest now. 3, 2, 1, go for it.
Oh, man.
As the contestants write down quickly their answers, I await for their answers. Alex over there just got a he has great penmanship probably.
Yes.
All right, your answer.
So it's from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I know it's the elf, but I think his name is Hermie the elf.
You are correct.
Okay.
All right, Tony, what did you have?
I also said it was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, but I said his name was Herbie the Elf.
Herbie. No, it is Hermie. So you get 1 point there. And Jesse.
I just said Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I recognized them, just didn't know his name. Not good with names.
Okay, so you got 1 point. It is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Hermie. All right, Jesse with 4, Tony with 5, Alex with 4.
I'm losing my lead.
Coming back.
This is good.
pretty close.
All right, next round. Ready, set, go.
I need to watch more Christmas movies this year. I haven't seen enough.
Something besides the Grinch, right?
Something, well, just the Dr. Seuss Grinch. I'm done. Final answer.
Okay, Jesse, we'll start with you this time.
I just have the movie Elf.
Yep.
I can't remember her name. I'm sure it's on her name tag, but I can't remember her name.
Tony, did you get it?
Yeah, that is Jovi from Elf.
Tony's on a roll, baby. That's 2 more points for Mr. Grillo. What about you, Alex?
I had nothing on this one.
Boo.
Didn't even know the movie.
Didn't even know the movie. Ooh, took a big hit. Now Alex still with 4, Jesse with 5, and Tony with 6. On a roll. Ready, set, and go. I have the answers here, so I hope you're not peeking.
My score doesn't show him peeking.
All good? Tony, what did you have?
I have Harry and Marv from Home Alone.
Home Alone, correct. And you got the 2 characters, so I guess that'll count as 3 points. So you're at 10.
Oh, dang.
All right. Jesse?
My lone answer was Home Alone. Can't remember the names. They need to all have name tags.
You got
Home Alone, just the
Okay.
movie. Didn't get the names.
All right.
I also had Home Alone and Harry and Marv.
Home Alone, Harry, and Marv. 1, 2, 3. Alex with 7, Tony with 10, Jesse with 6. Another round. How many do we have left? Yeah, we have a couple more rounds left. You got some time to redeem yourselves. Go.
Oh.
Alex is still writing. Okay, we're good. Alex, what'd you have?
I know it's a Charlie Brown Christmas, but I wasn't sure on the character. I guessed Linus.
No, that is not Linus. Tony.
I said it's a Charlie Brown Christmas, and I believe that's Schroeder.
It is Schroeder. Tony is knowledgeable about his Christmas movies, man.
I had the Charlie Brown Christmas, but I knew it started with an S, but I had Sebastian some reason. So, not the right name.
Maybe you're thinking of Johann Sebastian Bach or something.
Of
like
course,
that.
you know, the famous pianist, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Jesse with 7, Tony with 12, Alex has 8. Tony's running away with it here.
It's still anyone's game.
Still anyone's game. He's just being.
It's false confidence right there.
He's just being nice to us.
Ready, set, go. guys finished? Jesse, go ahead first.
That's Lil Tim, I believe. Don't look at me like that.
Did you get the movie?
I have the Christmas Story.
Okay, they're going to give you Little Tim, but it is Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim.
Okay,
Just a different
we'll give
adjective.
you 2.
Come on. I appreciate that.
So that's 2 points for Jesse. Tony?
All right, I have Tiny Tim, and I said the movie was a Christmas Carol.
Christmas Carol. Did you say Christmas Story?
I said Christmas Story.
Okay, I thought you said
lost
Christmas
it.
Carol. So
wow.
okay, so you get 1 point, and Tony, you got Christmas Carol and Tiny Tim. All right.
I had nothing.
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 All right.
more than
Alex
just Die
stays
Hard.
at 8, Tony with 14, and Jesse with 8.
Hurting myself here. Let's go. Need to come back.
Man, I almost gave you a free point. I thought you said Christmas Carol. All right. This is the last one. All the marbles. Jesse?
Confident, but I've been confident every time. I think it's the Ice Giant. I don't know if that's even what he's called. Okay. But I believe that's from The Year Without a Santa Claus with Heath Miser and...
Nope.
No. Oh, I'm wrong.
The same kind of animation, almost, but it's not.
Okay.
It's not Year Without a Santa Claus. Tony?
I'm gonna be honest. This one was the hardest one for me. I'm being honest. I said it was Jack Frost.
No, it is not Jack Frost. From the movie Jack Frost?
Yeah.
Okay. Nope. Alex?
I also had nothing for this one too.
Okay. All right. The
stumped
Winter Warlock
Okay.
from Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Santa Claus is coming to town. Man. Those are great movies. I love the animation, the cartoons in it.
Well, Alex and Jesse, you both had 8 points, so you were tied for second. Or you guys can fight it out. You guys can fight it out for second place. against third.
Second's better than last. So
Okay.
I'll take second.
And our winner of this competition is Mr. Tony Grillo. Do you have a victory speech you want to give?
Ooh. Oh yeah, right here. It says wait, actually not. I just want to thank everyone. Can't believe it. What do I win?
Well, you win graduation because this is your last episode of Nerd Alert.
It is.
And Jesse
Yours as
and
well.
Alex, you guys still have another semester to go. But Tony, any final thoughts on your last episode of Nerd Alert? You said that you started on it and now you ended on it as well.
I know, it's very poetic.
It is very poetic.
I've got to talk about a lot of things I'm very passionate about. And I've got to say, with the team we have now, I have faith they're going to keep it going.
Awesome. This is a show that I got involved with later on, but this is my final show like ever here at WCTV in the studio. So it's been a real honor and real pleasure just to be a part of every show here. And I'm really grateful for the experiences I've had here on the 4th floor of Buell Hall. And one last time, ever, as a student here at Waynesburg, so long. You've been watching Nerd Alert here on WCTV.
This has been a production of Waynesburg Community Television.